Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to a stream where we will be working on a Vue 3 Reddit client. Now, we started this like 2 episodes ago, and we're just going to keep working on it. It's going to be fun. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is it. It's pretty basic. You can search for subreddits. So right now I'm on Programmer Humor, but if I search for Java, and hey, WYT, thank you for that 4-month resub. But if I search for Java, we get autocomplete. Hey, Timmy Connect, thank you for that resub as well. So if I search for this, I can get autocomplete, and then I can go to a specific subreddit. It will load the posts, etc. Let's start off the show with a quick Programmer Humor review. This first one, just talk it out loud. There you go. Okay, Coder 1, how's it going? Coder 2, terrible. I've been working on this thing for 2 days and don't know what's wrong. First it does this, then it does that, and then it, okay, I know what it is. Thanks for your help. Coder 1, no problem. This is kind of funny. This just describes rubber duck debugging. It's the idea of actually talking out your problem to solve it. All right, this one says, there are 2 kinds of developers, those who have broken production and those who are about to. So the comic, says, Code Red, the website is down, and hey, Rate, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi. And the next panel says, I accidentally pushed some code to production instead of testing. Sweat. You what? He thinks everybody's mad. I'm sorry, I'm new to this. I won't do it again. Finally, welcome to the club. It's kind of a meme that at most places you're not really a developer unless you break production. Something like that. I don't know. Okay, this is the last one. Title is Please. What's the magic word to get what you want? Sudo. This is a good one. So in Linux, sudo is super user do, and it's a way of executing a command as the root user. And so that's how you can get what you want. Funny. All right. Welcome everyone to the show. Does anyone notice anything different? I think your cam frame rate is too low. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm not updating fast enough? What does the frame rate mean? I look brighter. I'm not anti-aliased. I can adjust the sync between my did I lose some weight? New lights. I'll just let you keep guessing. I think it's great. Am I bigger? I'm probably the same size. So if my voice is out of sync with my video, I can fix that. I look a lot more cheerful. No, I have a new camera. Now, I've also adjusted a lot of the filters and settings inside of OBS. Nuki Poo says, please fix. What do I need to fix? The frame rate? Look at mad cute. Thank you, Fantasy Teapot. I haven't voted yet, but my partner and I are going to sit down and fill out our ballots tomorrow. That's our plan for tomorrow. And because I live in Colorado, and here every ballot is a mail-in ballot. So yes, I will be voting very soon. Yeah, a light glow. All right. Yeah, and you should vote too. If you live in the United States of America, you should vote. Get out there and vote. Okay. Vote early, vote often. We're not going to talk politics. No, the only politics I'm going to talk is that you should vote. That's all I'm going to say. All right. It could be 24 FPS, and I actually don't know how to change it. I think it's fine. I think it's probably going to be okay. All right. Adjust my chroma. Oh yeah, I mean, I think I do have a blue halo, but yeah. Are there any mods here today? I don't know if I saw any mods. If you're a mod, say hi. Say hi. Well, Streamlabs is a mod. Hey, there you are, Doc. What's up, Doc? And Daniel. Cool. All right. Yeah, let's adjust the. I mean, I probably shouldn't do this, but we're going. What's up, Bob? We're going to adjust the chroma. So we can do this. That's me. That's what's really happening right now. And then there's that. And then I can completely disappear. That's actually pretty good. I could adjust the smoothness and all that stuff. It's fine. How's this? How's this? Yeah, welcome, John. Yeah, editing and production for sure. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah, no worries, John. Thanks for being here. Let's talk about my overlays. You see, there are some things happening on the screen. Let's talk about all that a little bit. There's a lot of artifacting. Seems your filter has too high of a sensitivity. What do you mean artifacting? Oh, you mean like around the mic and stuff like that? I see you, Mr. Demon Wolf. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. Let's talk about this. And just shut it down. Thank you for the upgraded sub. Oh yeah, we got a lot of supports before the stream started. Let me acknowledge all that too. DS Legends with the 5-month resub, Funny Dude with the 5-month resub, ACs with the 3-month resub, Nookie Poo with that 4-month Twitch Prime resub, Fantasy Teapot. And ACs with that tier 2 sub. Fantasy Teapot with the 3-month Twitch Prime resub, Julian with the 6-month Prime resub, who says, "Good to see you back. I hope your current workload abates a bit soon." Yeah, next week I have less early meetings, so it's likely that next week we'll go back to more morning streams during the week. HVBO, thank you for the 3-month resub. W, thank you for that 4-month resub. Timmy Connect with the 4-month resub, and Hacks with the 6-month resub. Thank you very much. Nookie Poo with 100 bits, Julian with 100 bits, Rate with 100 bits. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the support. Let's talk about my overlays. First of all, we can all play the drop game. So if you type !drop me in the chat, your avatar will fall from the sky. Likely. Where's mine? Oh, there it is. It's right there. And if it lands in the garden, you'll get your name on the screen. And thank you very much to OK Otter for that Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate you. Yeah, so you can do this throughout the stream. And there we go. Rasha, 45. Great work. Great drop. Who else? Just shut it down. Great job. SF Gonzalez, great drop. Fridiz, good work, everyone. Doing really good. Right. Now let's talk about my overlay. You can actually set your pronouns. So you can see that in my messages, I have my pronouns set to he, him, his. And so if you would like to set your pronouns so that I can know what you prefer, you can put it in the overlay. If you do what pronouns, you can see a list of pronouns. So she, he, they, ko, nun, they, hi, it, one, m, or yo. You can choose one of these, pick one, and then do !pronoun, followed by one of the things from that list. And now in my overlay, it will have your preferred pronouns. The other thing is you can set your country. You can do !country followed by your 2-character country code. For me, it's the US. For you, it may not be the US, but whatever you do, it will appear next to your messages. We can see that the Vanisher has the Canada flag, who says your cam isn't as good as usual. I think it's a slow frame rate. It's maybe not. It's a little bit laggy. I don't know. I'll adjust it later. It's fine. It's honestly fine. And I mean, one thing I could do is make it even smaller. Watch. And now you can't tell. So we're gonna go with that. Tell as much? I don't know. What else? Chief Mustardo has the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland flag, so that's cool. Yeah. Just after I removed my Monday and Wednesday reminders? Well, that's really nice that you had those, FB. Yeah. I do need to update my gear page. But yeah, I mean, making myself smaller, I don't know. Did that help anyone? Did that help with how I looked? The overlay is Vue with TypeScript and Electron. This is this window here, but this window is Electron, but the elements themselves are just view components. So like that's why on this view they look the same, but this is actually an overlay inside of OBS, whereas this is an Electron app that's running those components inside of it. Well, thank you, DevTerp. Yeah, but if you take a look at the frequently asked questions in this repo, there is a file, overlays in chat manager, that describes all of my overlays, including like the drop game and other various things. And it has a link to the code, and it also has a link to the YouTube videos where I built those things live on stream. So you can check all of that out there if you're interested. And also the frequently asked questions it's just a good read. If you like it here and you want to know more about me and you have a question, you can check it out. MB Dealer, thank you for that 4-month resub. Hello, Coding Heart. It's likely the frame rate on my camera. I actually don't know how to adjust it, and I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, there's that. And then you can also set your team. So if you go to the Font Awesome brand cheat sheet, anything from this page, you can pick a name and set that as your team. I'm actually going to set my team to Bandcamp. This one, a wonderful music service for independent artists and other kind of artists. But I've been listening to a lot of things on Bandcamp lately. But if you do !team followed by any of the things from that page, I'm going to do Bandcamp, then that icon will appear next to your name, like that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to give you an album recommendation. Let's see, am I logged in? I'm not logged in. It's an artist called Home, and this album, Odyssey. This was released in 2014. It's kind of like a synthwave kind of thing. One of the songs on here was actually a meme for a while, but if you're looking for something to listen to today, check out this album, Odyssey by Home. Yeah, that album is awesome. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's just say hi to everybody and get coding. I think that's the best thing for us to do at this point in time. So if you would like for me to acknowledge you, you can say any of these things in the chat. Any message that matches this regular expression will be acknowledged. You can say hi, hello, hey, morning, afternoon, evening, howdy, good day, coding hiyo, vohiyo, boga hey. Any of those things will filter. And we're going to go back in time to 28 minutes ago, where Tomas was the first hello. What's up, Tomas? Welcome to the show. And hello, TG, Mr. P1, and Emic. How's it going? What's up, Awaited and Fantasy, Teapot, and Shines Love, and GM Awesome, and Omer, and R Cooled, and Marasha, and Slake, and Overdose of Sadness, and Koozie, and Fawaz, and Shaker Maker, and Zolo, and Samskio, and Doc. What's up, Potato is Grizzin. And Erhan, welcome. Hello, Leeds, and Dubby, and Rate. Cannot watch on the go. How long are you streaming today? Probably about 2 hours. So roughly 2 hours. What's up, Unfair, and Limeoats, and Dario, and Tufox, and Olaf, and Kubobo. How's it going? What's up, Don? And Mark, and Sid, who says, I came to say thank you for your videos on YouTube. They help me a lot. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you watched them. If anyone else is interested in my YouTube, you can look at it there. It's basically just a lot of this. My older videos are a little, they're less talking, more coding. I don't know. Yeah, what's up, Luca Katan? And Bob, how's it going? Ooh, what's your team? I don't know what that is. Looks cool. What's up, King Rapula? Hope you're well. Just been watching a video you made years ago. Awesome. What's up, Boolines and Julian and Frinez and Phil the Dev? What's up, Easy and ST Gonzalez? Coder says, I'm new to Twitch. Huge fan of CJ. Can someone explain the drop game? Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit. You can do drop me. That drops your avatar, but you also can just drop any emote. I can drop the code emote. and it will fall from the sky. Main thing is if you land in the garden, you get points. Let's talk more code. Oh, battle.net, nice. You can also drop emojis too, so that's fun. And what's up, Vistrand and Binary? And FV Bombell and AC says, hope you're good. I'm doing pretty good. Just got a mug from your store. Oh, nice. This one? Very cool. Yeah, I got a new camera. This is the first time I'm using it. Apparently I need to adjust some things. So. What's up, Ace Mods, and Chief Mastardo, and CMJ Chris Jones, and what's up, Nihij, and Rico, and Yagan, and Folkybits, and Latitium Vanidium, what's up, Nookie Poop, and Jay Getachu, and Shorshi Web, and Kabanks, and Coheeb, and HVBO, and Blackberry, what's up, Daniel Garden, and Dremented, and Magical Bird, and CJ, hello, what's up, Generic Trumbo, and Funny Dude, long time no live stream, yeah, I mean, for the past 3 weeks, it's been one live stream a week. Hopefully, I want to say next week is when the stream schedule will pick up. And, Walter Gall. This is my first time watching live. Welcome. What's up, Eternal Dev Coder, and Hacks, and Nerdophile, and ACM, and Dev M, and Alex. Hello, what's up, Yataic, and OK Otter, and Martin, and Dynamic Voyage, and John, and Amadub, and Nubin, and Oknot Now. What's up, Das Chris, and Deckbin, and The Vanisher, and Brayson, and Additivity. What's up, Jules? And Kentril. First time. Welcome. Got some newbies here. What's up, Dynamic Brazil? Loving the hairstyle. Well, thank you. What's up, DG Bye? And Marlon and Elite Rose. How's it going? What's up, Armor Fox? And Afa and Oscar and Sequel Gordster, who says Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. What's up, Norchess? Wishing you a great Friday. I'm currently working on an Android app. Very cool. What's up, Bishop Coates and Snow Crash and Layer 3 Guru and Timon Dev? Thanks for the early stream. It's 4:30 here in Germany. Yeah, I guess certain parts of the world, it's the afternoon. You're just like getting off work. Weekend starting. For me, I still got to work today. So, and what's up, Med Target and Gonzi and DevTerp and Max Power and X Stories and Lou and Kramer and Shell Coding and Cyber and Thite and Aaron and Foud and Max and Byte Push and Mateus and Truefell Winter. Is a 16 gigabyte MacBook Pro 16 good? Just bought it today. Yeah. That's a perfectly adequate machine that will allow you to do the things you want to do. Sure. What's up, Eddie? We've done it. So anybody else that hasn't said hi, if you say hi now, I will acknowledge you. What's up, Sakliza and Crypod? How's it going? Bonjour. Oh, that's not in my filter. How's it going, Prachi? And recently online and Toasted Cheeses. Hello. What's up, Fikex? I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. Maybe I did. Did I? It's not showing up over here. And Truefell Winter, thanks for that sub. You're nice. I appreciate you. And what's up, On My Own and American and Rabelin and High Tech? Go by Examples course. I haven't heard of that. And what's up, Kaipar and Hyderal Punjabi? Welcome to the show. All right. Hey, Oxnox. Shaker Maker. Shahay, Shyhawk, T20, Ikak, Mose, how's it going? We gotta hydrate here. I need to pull up the rewards queue. I don't know if there's anything else in the rewards queue, but thank you, Arnav, for that hydrate. I do a bit of Firebase today. I didn't plan on it. We're just using the Reddit API, and it's as read only. We are not even doing like OAuth or anything like that. Yeah, let me pull up the rewards queue and the Vanisher with the focus mode. We'll use that to just describe what we're working on. Click this button. What's up, Revive Newt? Hopefully you're doing okay. This. 7 days ago. Wait, this minute? No. Okay, all these are 7 days ago. I'm gonna reject these ones from 7 days ago. What's up, NG Berman? The only thing you've missed is me saying hello and hello. What's up? I'm Linguine as well. Yeah, I'll talk about. I'll review how we did the autocomplete. And thank you, Arnav, for that hydrate. Vanisher, we're gonna do that focus mode. Thank you, DS Legends, for the stretch. Late is a relative term. And Oscar, thanks for the hydrate as well. Cheers. Okay, let's do a focus mode. And I'll just show you what we've done and walk through the code. Here we go. Pew! Okay, you can actually go to this site. It's deployed view3 reddit client.surge.sh. And by default, it loads r/all, which is all of the popular posts on the site across all subreddits. This is the top post right now, which is a guy breakdancing. And this is my break timer. Let's take a quick stretch. Oh, well, have a good night, Revive Newt. Thanks for dropping by. Cool. And so we have some very basic media detection, and we're doing like a GIF embed with the soft G. We're doing image embeds, and it's pretty basic at this point. And kind of what I want to work on today at some point is a better media embedder, because it sometimes misses things. Like if we go to r/all, which is pictures of cute things, sometimes it doesn't actually show the embedded posts. Like these are actually text posts, so we wouldn't see that. Whoa, that duck's getting massaged. So like this one, a gentle giant discovers his bed has been occupied, but we're not showing any embed because we're not detecting the media correctly yet. The other thing is we potentially will just add more info to the post, because we have like the title, the score, when it was posted, but there's some other information from the API that we get we can embed here. I bite everything, including this sign. Cool. But yeah, if you go to this site, you can experience it as well. One of the other things I was showing earlier is autocomplete. And hey, both XP, thank you for that 2-month resub. So if you search for a subreddit, this actually hits the API. We're just using Materialize CSS, so we're not using a Vue component library. Funny dude with the 25 gifted. Thank you very much, Funny Dude. That's a lot of support. My goodness. What do we do? What do we do? We thank Funny Dude is what we do. I appreciate you. Everyone send your hearts. Whatever hearts you got, put them in the chat. Just fill it up. I appreciate you, Funny Dude. Wow. So much support. Awesome. Wow. Wow. Okay. And yeah, so you type the subreddit, and it shows you a list here. And what we're actually doing behind the scenes is we're just hitting the Reddit API, the search API, and filtering by subreddit. Filtering by subreddit. And then we are displaying that data here. But it was a pretty interesting integration because we are just using Materialize CSS, which is, I think they use jQuery behind the scenes. I think you can do it. Well, maybe, no, they removed the jQuery dependency, but they do have some custom JavaScript that does DOM manipulation type things. And we showed how you can integrate something like that with a Vue component, because we are actually using their autocomplete component. Is it here? Oh, it's under forms, maybe. Autocomplete. So we're using theirs, but you'll see that you have to do this stuff to initialize it. But basically, we call the API, we get back the data, we call that JavaScript code, which populates the dropdown. And yeah, I can show that code too. r/pics. Very cool. That's a cool tattoo. That actually reminds me of my dog Max that I had in college. This dog. My dog Max was missing an eye. He is not missing an eye. Okay. That's the app. Let's talk about the code. I will show you here. So this is a Vue 3 app. We generated it using the CLI. It's got all this Vue 3 goodness, create app, use store, use router, mount the app. If we look at our main app component, This just has that navbar. The navbar is what has the search and all that good stuff, and then the router view is what actually displays the current subreddit that you're on. And if we look at our routes, I think we just have one route, which is the home route. One thing we eventually want to add is routing to a specific subreddit. So right now you see that the URL doesn't change, but when we go to pics, the URL should update to something like /r/pics. And that way you can go to that URL directly and load that subreddit. I'm actually going to add that to the to-do because it's not on the to-do. Say subreddit routing. Cool. Yeah, and then if you look at the home view, that just loads in the subreddit component and has the current subreddit that should be displayed, and then this component handles making a request to get those posts and then rendering those posts out. And we showed how with Vue 3 you can have basically very simple global state without anything extra. So we created this little DIY store here that's literally just an object with a ref on it. So a ref is new in Vue 3, and this is a way of creating a standalone reactive value that can be used anywhere. So we define this module here, and then we can use that inside of any component, and we can modify or access this value directly, and it syncs across all components, which is pretty nice. So like in the subreddit component, or at least in the home component, we're getting the value of subreddit from that DIY store. And then in the navbar component, whenever the subreddit is clicked on, we change it in the store. This sees that change and displays the rest of the post. Somebody asked about Vuex. We're not using it right now. We might use it. I just did this to show how easy it is to do something like this with Vue 3. Cool. So we got home. That renders the subreddit component. If we look at the subreddit component, that uses a hook called usePosts. UsePosts is a custom hook we wrote that kind of encapsulates the idea of making a request to Reddit, and it holds on to like loading state and error state and all that good stuff. We have a computed property which filters out all of the naughty stuff and gets only the data that we care about. And we actually use JSX in this component because somebody asked about it last time, so you may not realize this. This isn't new in Vue 3, but in Vue, you can use JSX for your template if you wanted to. And we did that just to demonstrate that it works, and if you like that, you can do that. But you can look at the template here. We have like loading state, and we're displaying a spinner. We have error state, and we show the error if the error happens. And then we have an array of posts that came back from that hook, and we render out a Reddit post. If we take a look at the Reddit post component, this just does the job of showing the title, when it was posted, and right now we kind of have like these if statements, like if it's a video, embed the video, if it's an image, embed the image, and then link out to the comments. But one thing I do want to work on is instead of having like these conditionals here, we create a separate component called like a media renderer, and it determines, or media embedder, it figures out how to embed that post, whether it's an image or a video or something else that might require an embed, like a YouTube video. We could embed the YouTube video or something like that. Cool. So that's that. And the last thing I'll show you is the navbar, which was pretty involved, but this is the thing that has the autocomplete on it. So you can type in this little input, and then we had to do some work to integrate that with the autocomplete of Materialize. So, yeah, when the component is mounted, we init Materialize autocomplete. So this code is coming from Materialize, and we have a ref to the element in the component. And then when autocomplete happens, we just update that DIY store, and that automatically refreshes the list of posts. And then to actually do the autocomplete, we make a request to search, we get back the responses, and then update the data in the autocomplete. And we also have like a very simple debounce here, where basically you can type, but it doesn't actually provide autocomplete results until you haven't been typing for 100 milliseconds. And RenderMelon, thank you for that resub. So this is the app. If we look at the to-do, I think actually I want to implement this first, is subreddit routing. So instead of actually holding it on state, like global state, we technically could still do that, but I want the current subreddit to come from the URL, so that way we can do things like this, and it will actually load the post from r/pics. and then we'll do other things. But I think we're gonna do this first. Now, I know I missed a lot of chats. If you have something important, ask me now. Ask me now. Can you bookmark Reddit posts? You can't, but we can add that. Let's add like bookmark/favorites. I mean, we could do this all with local storage. We're not allowing you to log into Reddit right now. Eventually, we might do something like that, but for now, it's just kind of like a read-only version of Reddit. In Vue 3 using hash routing, I saw a different routing library for Svelte using hashes. Is this better than using the history API? I only prefer hash routing because I can deploy to a static web host and I don't have to worry about the configuration of the server. Because Surge is a static web host. I just gave it my static files. The site is hosted there. And if I were to make a request to this, you can see that I get page not found. And that's because this is looking for a file in a folder called R, and the file is called pix. But this is a static server. This is not a dynamic server. There's no way to process that. I would have to configure Surge to reroute this request to the root, which in turn would load the actual Vue app. I don't want to have to configure the server, so with hash routing, this is all I need. And when I go to /r/pix or something like that, this doesn't make a request to a server. JavaScript can see that and do it. So that's the main reason I'm doing, is so I don't have to configure the server. JSX, and you can use class instead of class name. Yep. I'm using Just Black with a few modifications. If you take a look at the frequently asked questions on what theme, and if you go to my VS Code settings and you take a look at the theme, there's this. But then if you look at my settings, there are some settings associated with here. So editor token color customizations. This changes the theme slightly for how it makes certain things italic and the color of certain things. Yeah. All right. Oh, what was I doing? We're reading the chat. Well, what's up, Davi from Brazil? Yeah. Yeah, and they don't necessarily need to be, they do need to be handled by the server, but it is possible in Surge to make a configuration that says redirect all requests to the root. I don't want to do that. It's so easy to just give it my static files and not have to worry about configuration. And what's up, Zero Xeon? Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Idea, subreddit title. Yes, I like it. Let's actually, we could show more information about the subreddit, because we're not doing that right now. Show subreddit info. So we could do the title, all the info in the sidebar, number of members, etc. Stuff like that. Well, so right now we're just not showing not safe for work posts at all, but eventually we want to have like a settings page to enable or disable. So a settings page with more than just that, but there will be an option to enable or disable not safe for work content. I currently just have it straight up disabled because I'm streaming and this needs to be appropriate. Yeah, so there is no backend here, so there's no way of setting a cookie. We could use local storage, but yeah. The seedling and brackets. Oh, nice, very cool. Can we get an Electron app for Reddit client? Yeah, I could I could literally take this website and put it inside of an Electron app. Why not? Electronify this thing. Yeah, and I could do that with one command. I'll show you that in a little bit. What are my thoughts on user chrome.css in Firefox? I'm not familiar with it. So you can't have a folder named. I don't think so. So this is a part. So you probably can, but it needs to be URL encoded. Part of the URL is anything after the hash, the pound, hashtag. If you're, I don't know, but the octothorpe, this thing, anything after that is not sent to the server, and that's just the mechanics of how the web works and how URLs work, uniform resource locators. But if you do encode URI component and then pass in that's going to be, so that gets sent as %23, and that would be interpreted as a folder or a file that has a hash in it. If it's a legitimate hash and it's not %23, then it's not going to be sent to the server. Oh, thank you for the supports, funny dude, and thanks for dropping by. You have a good day too. Am I planning on doing any React? Probably, eventually. I mean, yes. Right now, the app is completely read only. There are no upvotes or anything like that. Eventually, we might allow you to log in, but for now I'm avoiding that. And it's not on Heroku, so it's on Surge. And we talked about this last time. It's just a static website. Hey, Sorelli, thank you for that 6-month resub. So I'm using Surge. This is a totally free way to deploy static files. And what I mean by static files are we just have some JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. That is what this website is. There is no backend. There is no server runtime required for this app that we've built. All that code I showed you earlier is running inside of the web browser. Oh, as the tab title. I like that. Subreddit name in tab title. Cool. Oh, hi, Jose. Long time YouTube viewer, first time catching my stream. Wanted to say hi. Well, thank you, Jose. Thanks for being here. What else? What else? Can we adjust the styling a little bit? Yeah, yes, but I don't want to get caught up in that right now. Because yeah, like this search icon is in a weird position and all that stuff. That's good, Zero Xeon. What's up, Nanocode? And hello, in Bosman. Entropy win. I don't know. When I start streaming more often. Oh, I didn't know that. It's pretty cool. You can edit how Firefox looks. r/Firefox CSS. Oh, it's because I was not on the homepage route, which is the only one that does that. Cool. If the app is read-only, does that mean users won't have access to the subs they follow? Yeah, so right now, yes, that's the case, but you may not realize you can also do something like this. You can actually make a request to Reddit that includes multiple subreddits in the response. So you could say, like, I want r/JavaScript, and I want r/programmer humor, and I want r/programming. And that will return all three of those subreddits combined. So there's that. And potentially what we could do, oh yeah, plus r/all. Why not? Well, what we could do eventually is we could get the user's profile to see what their public subscriptions are and then just show that. Eventually we'll probably add login, but you know, for now this is something that you could do. Yeah. Could this be an I mean, it kind of is because I don't have any ads. So yeah, it could be an ad-free Reddit. I mean, I guess the other interesting thing is, okay, so, I mean, this actually might be fun today to show how easy it is to do something like this, but we're going to electronify this thing, meaning we're going to turn it into a desktop app. We also could capacitorize this thing, meaning turn it into a mobile Android and iOS app as well. That is very likely a thing we can do. Okay, let's write some code. So what I want now is the subreddit routing. So like I showed right now on the homepage, everything is rendered on the homepage. Nothing is based on the route. But what I want, if we go to our routes, is I want a route that is a specific subreddit. And we're not using Firebase. There's no... The only thing we're doing is making a request to the Reddit API. That is it. So r/subreddit. Oh yeah, we do need pagination as well and like infinite scroll. I'll put that higher on the list. We could probably do that after this. Infinite scroll / pagination. Cool. So I'm going to create a new route where the path is /r/subreddit, and then we can take this value and use that in the component to request the right one. I'm going to call this the subreddit page. Is that how you spell subreddit? Seems about right. But now we need a subreddit page component. And actually, I'm just going to rename home to be the subreddit page. And I'm going to have some logic that basically says when the app spins up, if the URL does not match this, then we're going to go to r/all. So I'm actually just going to rename this page to subreddit page. And then instead of getting the subreddit from the store, it's going to pass down whatever the route is. And also we're going to redirect to r/all if there is, so let's just start there first. So in our app component, when the app is mounted, if the URL if the page is not /r, we're going to redirect to that page. So what we need to do is we need to import use route from view router. And so this is a hook to get access to the current route. And then inside of the component, we have our setup function. And actually, are we using TypeScript? No, we're not using TypeScript. Good. Good. And so in here, when the component is mounted, meaning this is like the first time the app is spinning up, we want to figure out what page we're on. And so I'm also going to import on mounted from view. And this is a hook just built into view to run a function when the component was mounted. So here inside of setup, when the thing was mounted, I'm going to say if route. And so inside of setup, I can say route equals use route, like that. And I'll say if route.name, I think, yeah, route.name does not equal subreddit page. Is that what we called it? Yeah, the name is subreddit page. If the route does not equal that, then we're going to redirect. And so now I also need the router so that I can push that route. So I'll say use router. And then I'm going to get myself a router. And if the name is not subreddit page, then I'm going to say router.push. I want to go to the component that has the name subreddit page. And I need to pass in some params. So I need to say that the subreddit is r/all. So by default, if you load up the app and we're not there, we're going to push you to r/all. So that should do it. Now that I'm running locally, it didn't do it. We could do. I don't really want to do anything like this. I just want to, in the first time the app is loaded, redirect to this page, because yeah, you're right. Like if at any point we get back to the home page, we probably need to redirect them. But okay. For now though, I'm just gonna log what is the route name here. I'm getting no errors. What? Give me a second. I need to adjust my logs here. Did I turn these off or did I turn these on? Here we go. There's an error. Myth Guy, thank you for that subscription. Or MTH Guy, much appreciated. So currently the name is undefined. That's good. And then here we have missing required param subreddit. I see. So I think. Oh, that's why. Yeah. NG Berman has it. I need to pass an object here. I need to say that subreddit is that. That's the error that I'm getting, and then it should redirect. Cool. So, just want to see XHR. Cool. So it has redirected. Oh, actually, the subreddit is all. All right, here we go. That took me way too long. But okay, so now this redirects to r/all. Beautiful. Now, inside of the subreddit page component, we need to use that value instead of using that value from the store. And MTH Guy with the sub the gifted sub to JavaSlip. We could make a default as well, but I want the URL to reflect it, so that's why I'm redirecting. But now over here, instead of using this value from the store, we are just going to use it from the route. So here we can import use route from view router. And then in this component, we have the route. And then we want to watch when the route params change. And we'll basically have a computed value that is the current subreddit. So we're also going to bring in computed from view. And what we want is a computed property for the subreddit. And that is the route param, so route.params.subreddit. And so whenever the route changes, this computed property is going to update. That return value is going to be accessible in the template, and then we can use it here. So that should do it. So that should load r/all. I guess the tricky part here is this is the subreddit name, but this is expecting it to be passed down with /r in front of it. So it's even more of a computed value because we take the subreddit name and put /r in front of it. r/ like that, I think. What's up, Jakob? Thank you for that 4-month resub. What did you say? 4 months and getting better every day. Very nice. Thanks for being here. All right. Not found. Is it r/? Yeah, let's look at the actual API request that's happening. So this is making a request to reddit.com/undefined.json. So the value that we're getting back here is not right. Params subreddit. Let's just, for the sake of debugging, we're gonna render out what the subreddit is here. So the subreddit is r/all. Great. Oh, I think I know why. Because it's not like a reactive value. It's the value itself. So if we go into the subreddit component, that was expecting it to be a reactive value, I believe. Props.name. So this is view 3, and we're using hook-like things, is what I'll say. Let's see what the value getting into that component is. Name, r/all. Oh, I see. And then this thing, this use post hook, I think is the thing that's trying to access dot value here. Because it gets subreddit, and it's passing in subreddit.value, but we just want to pass in subreddit. And then to watch it, we just want to watch it like that. That's the winner. The issue is we went from a ref to just a computed value, which doesn't have the dot value property. Yeah, I've tried the new script setup. I don't know if I've tried it in this app, but I can show you how that works. Actually, this is a great component for doing it in. Maybe. Maybe? Yeah, let's do it. So what Sakliza is talking about is, so this is you specify your setup component, all your stuff goes in there, but some syntactic sugar that they added was that instead of having to specify a setup function like this, all you got to do is put the word setup right here, and then just put your code at the root. And then anything you want to be accessible inside of the component would actually be exported like a module. But in this case, we don't even need anything in the component. It's just code that runs here. So that cleans things up quite a bit. Instead of having to put things inside of a function called setup, we just put them at the root. And this should work. So if we refresh and we go back here, it redirects to r/all. Cool. But the nice thing about this is now, if we go to r/javascript, it should load. But one thing is we need to actually watch the URL and reload when that happens, I think. But regardless, if I go to this directly, this should just load r/JavaScript. No, I see. Wait. It's not loading. What's happening? We need unlucky. We need to get this working though. So the other aspect is the nav bar. Instead of setting the state, it actually just needs to push the subreddit. So if we go to navbar and we go to when it needs to change the subreddit. So right here, it's just saying state.subreddit.value equals that. Test fail. Yeah, absolutely. Instead, we need to just push it. So we need to push the route that is there, and the subreddit is the subreddit that you just clicked on. And then we need to use the router in here. Something like that. Yeah, basically anywhere we're accessing this, we want to get rid of, and we want to just put it in the URL instead. Test fail. Yeah. Can we try using language TypeScript? Sure. The next component we do, we'll do it with TypeScript. Just remind me. I don't know. Yeah, I think the next, well, that's going to be a tricky one because the next component I think is a media renderer, and then we're going to have all kinds of interfaces and such. Yeah. Here, this becomes search term.value. All right. What I'm hoping is, so that redirects to r/all, great. But now if I search for a subreddit and then I click on it, that is supposed to load this, and it does not. And that's what we need to fix. Basically, the thing that is refreshing the posts doesn't know that the URL has changed. And so that is happening here. Use posts with props.name. And so use posts takes in the subreddit, and it is attempting to just watch that that value. I think if we should be able to pass it in without a function, because this is a computed that's a computed property. And so when we pass a computed property into watch, should be fine. Why is this complaining? Subreddit is not a word. Let's add it to our dictionary. And then yeah, so maybe that will help. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if we have to wrap it in a ref or something like that. If we look at the subreddit page, it's passing down subreddit. r/JavaScript. Great. r/programmer humor. Yeah, so it's changing there, and that does mean that the prop is being passed down, meaning like this prop would have changed inside of subreddit. Here, props.name. And Yeah, I'm curious why this is not rerunning. This is the main issue, that this watcher isn't necessarily working. Just add a log. But also, like, if we added a watcher in here, would it even run? I'm curious. Let's see. Props.name. That name changed. All right, see you later, NG Berman. Thanks for being here. All right, refresh. We're getting some weird errors here. Maybe I should try to fix these. Invalid watch source. A watch source can only be a getter, effect, or function, a ref, a reactive object, or an array of these types. So this is actually telling me why things are going wrong. Like, I don't know if we need to put it in a computed again. That actually doesn't make sense to me. Maybe we do, because it's passed down as just a string. Like, let's see if this works. I'm going to create a property called subreddit that is a computed that returns props.name. And then subreddit is what gets passed down here. Will this work? Object. Do we need to then access the value here? No, not there. That's fine. Here is where we want that value. Yeah, I think that's it. And I don't like it. Let's talk about why I had to do that. Let's see if there's a better way to do it. Yeah, so this is working now. So now I can click a subreddit. It sees that the prop has changed because it's now a computed value, and then it passes that down. Yeah, okay. How do I feel about this? I feel like props.name should already be reactive, right? Because props.name is being passed from a parent. But I guess the tricky part is, if we look at props.name, it's just a string, and you can't really watch just a string here. So we'd have to wrap it like in a, yeah. I don't know if anybody sees a better way to do this. Yeah, so Vue 3 itself is technically released. Like, they're out of beta. They are released. The main thing that needs to happen is all of the associated libraries, like Vue Router 4 and Vuex, are still in beta, and those are some libraries that you would use. Yeah, I could watch the route, and then maybe not even use it as a prop, and then this is our subreddit page. I think that actually would make a lot more sense. It would clean things up. So basically, I could do this. So instead of having this subreddit page, I have this computed value inside of this component itself, because it's the thing that's accessing it. Just like this. So bring that in there, and this would work, and it makes a lot more sense because now the computed value makes sense because it's coming from the route itself anyways, and then that's being passed down, and then we actually don't even need this component at all. So subreddit becomes the subreddit page, and I'm just going to move that into views and get rid of subreddit page component. And then in our routes, we just bring in the subreddit. Yeah, my furnace is on. It's very cold here in Denver, Colorado. All right, refresh. Does not match the corresponding path on disk subreddit view. Oh, the capital R. That's fine with me. Cool. What's up, Shellcoats? Got some mic warbling. Yeah, there is a fan in the room. I guess, are you all hearing like weird feedback? I can put my phone farther away. How's that? How's that? Van Gogh Burr. Okay, so now, if I do this, yes, look at that. I can type the URL directly in, and it refreshes to that specific subreddit. So that's beautiful. And let's see if I go to that. No, it gets redirected to r/all, which I don't like. I think in my app.view, instead of checking the route name, I need to look at the path. Let's look at route.path or route.fullpath maybe. Let's see. And if we go directly to this, the path was slash though. Full path? It is winter in my... Is it winter? I don't know if it is winter. It's cold. Fall is over? Is there a reason to not use history mode? Yeah, the main reason is I don't have to worry about configuration of deployment. It's fall. We've confirmed that it's fall. Okay, so... yes, you can do it without the here's the other thing is like everybody wants to get rid of the hash. The hash is a beautiful thing. Like the hash is the reason that single page applications exist. Like we're used to the hash on a site like Wikipedia, where if you're new to all this, let's learn about URLs. So you can see I'm at a URL, a uniform. Or universal resource locator, uniform resource locator, but this URL here is unique. And when anybody in the world goes to this URL, they're likely going to get back the same response. But this is composed of a few things. It has the protocol. It has the host, which is en.wikipedia.org. It has the path, which is /wiki/JavaScript. There are some other things that you can have in a URL. So you could have like the query string, which is the question mark, and that would allow you to pass params like thing equals wat and who equals. So basically, the server could use those params and do something with them. And then you also have the hash or the search, and so that's everything that comes after the £. And everything after the £sign doesn't get sent to the server. That's used on the client side. And where we see that in action is in the table of contents. So check this out. So I'm on this page. And you'll notice I put a question mark and it still gave me the same page because the query string was empty. That's fine. And so if I look at the table of contents, you can see, if you look down on the bottom there, that is kind of hard to see, but that's linking to a specific part of the page by using pound and then the ID of that section. So if I click here on history, the page automatically jumps down to that. That's just built into the browser, and it has been for a very, very long time. And JavaScript developers basically use this mechanism to create single-page applications where they can detect when this changes and then change the contents of the page when that changes. And it's all happening on the client side. But yeah, what was mentioned is that it's the ID. For sure, if you look at the element in here, that is a span with an ID of history. So this needs to match an ID on the page. Like that's the real mechanism, is it needs to match an ID on the page. But the fact that JavaScript can tap into it is also cool because it doesn't have to be an ID. We can just do something based on whatever it is, and that's what View Router is doing here. There is no element with ID r/programming. It's basically seeing that this changed and then displaying a different component based off of that. But why I like it is because it's all client side. You don't have to worry about a server. The thing about removing this is if I go there directly, and we can see on the deployed website. So, and this doesn't have the updated URLs just yet. Hashtag. It's actually an octothorpe. Let's look it up on Wikipedia. It's the octothorpe. The number sign, I believe. Is it not an octothorpe? Was I saying the wrong thing? URI fragment? What's an octothorpe? Here we go. Octothorpe. Oh, that was an impression of your 15-year-old daughter. Yeah, a lot of people are like, hashtag. Yeah, so we call it the pound sign, the number sign. I mean, Twitter, I guess it was Twitter that popularized calling it the hashtag. Regardless, what I was going to show you. Actually, let me deploy the site really quick. So I made these changes. We're going to build it, and then I'm going to deploy it so that you can experience this for yourself. And this is why I prefer hashes. I'll say this, like a lot of, like, I mean, I work at a consultancy, so we build apps for clients, and the majority of the time, the people we're building the apps for aren't that technical, and they don't care that there's a hash in the URL. And it simplifies configuration and deployment. What's happening? Oh, script setup is still an experimental proposal. I think this is what happened last time. When I tried to use the experimental setup tag, it just completely broke everything. So I'm going to go back to not doing that. So when I added this, and my build is broken right now. So we're going to go back to not doing that. I told you so. I didn't see your comment earlier. Oh, apparently I can't. I've lost all my code. What? Don't save. I've lost my... Control Y? I don't know. I couldn't get it. That's fine. So we're just going to put this back in a setup method so that it will actually build. I might need to upgrade my dependencies or my... yeah, I might need to make some upgrades to get that working. But for now, this should work. So let's build it. Press the pound key. This mythical key. Okay, so it's built. And so like I mentioned, this is a static... these are static files. There was an argument last time about what is a static website, and the fact that this site is dynamic, like in behavior is dynamic, but this website consists of 3 files. You have the vendor's JavaScript file, which includes like libraries and dependencies. You have the app file, which is the code that I wrote, well, the transpiled version of it, and then you have the CSS file. That's it. That's all this thing is. It's just a bunch of static files. So, and they're here. And then I can just push those static files to Surge, and that deploys them. And there is no dynamic server. There's no Node.js. I mean, it could be a Node.js static file server, but it's not executing my scripts on the server. These get executed inside of the user's web browser. So we'll go here. View 3 Reddit client. Upload. Done. So now, if we go to the deployed site, it should redirect us. Yeah, so you see that we get redirected to r/all. And then we can go to like r/JavaScript and it loads. Beautiful. Now, what I want to show you is that if I attempt to go there without the pound sign, I get a 404. Because without the pound sign, that is a request to this server. And this server doesn't have a folder called R and a file called JavaScript. Refactor, thank you for that 6-month resub. Coding, wow. Wow. Can I do this? Wow. Cool. I could probably set up CNAME. It's fine. But yes, this is not found because there is no file on the server with that path, right? And so if I wanted this to work, what I would need it to do, what I would need it to do is basically reroute that request to the index file, and then JavaScript will kick in and it can use the URL. But by just keeping the hash there, I don't have to do that. I can I don't have to worry about server configuration, and it just works. So this is why WoW gives me the strength to live. That's good to hear, Dynamic Brazil. So yeah, that's why I don't know why I talked about that for so long, but that's why it's so easy. You don't have to configure the server, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. But if I did want to get this working, I actually did a video a long time ago on how you can configure Surge to do this. Chad Dev, thank you for that 6-month resub. If you look on my YouTube channel for the 101 ways to deploy a React website, make sure that you're not blocking the requests to Reddit, Cameron Coates. It's possible that an extension is like blocking Reddit or something like that. Yeah, here it is. 101 ways to deploy a React website. This actually applies to any single page application that might use history-based routing instead of hash-based routing. So every site I deploy to here, I show how you would have to configure the server. And I think I have notes on how to do it for Surge. Surge, yeah. So adding a 200 page for client-side routing. This tells you how to do it. Actually, it's not that hard. You literally just copy index.html into a file called 200.html, and now it will redirect all requests there. But all of that to say that whatever service you use, you're gonna have to figure out how to configure it to work with history routing. Whereas if you use hash routing, you don't have to worry about that. That's all I'm saying. And I'll share this with you. Yeah, the URLs definitely look cleaner, but who cares? Because most users, and that's what you're building these things for, you're building them for users. Most users don't even know what a URL is. And it's inconsequential to them that there is a hash sign in their URL. Is it good from an SEO perspective? That's something else to think about, but it's also something that I don't usually care about because I'm not building apps that necessarily need that. And that's just what I do. Other people do different things. Okay. I think we've done it. oh no, we're still trying to fix this issue where on initial load, it actually redirects anyways. Here. So like if on initial load, if I try to go directly to a subreddit, I mean, I could add the redirect instead of on mount. I could add it on the home page because that way it won't redirect there. Somebody mentioned this earlier, and I think I'm going to try to do it. So if we have a path at the root, or like a route at the root. Hey, Kukli, thank you for that 5-month resub. Very much appreciated. And then I think, can we have like a before enter? Equation Child, thank you for the 100 bits. Very much appreciated. That's where we could redirect, maybe? Is it possible to use Vue 2 NPM packages in Vue 3? Probably not. There are some breaking changes that would have broken their compatibility. Thank you, Informath. How you doing? All right, I'm gonna go to the Vue router docs. Could it be hacked? Oh yeah, we could hack it. We could put our files inside of a folder called R, and technically that would work. But no, you would still get a 404 not found on the specific subreddit. I think I see what you're getting at though. I use Vuex. It really depends on what you're doing if you need Vuex or not. Twitch Marble King, I think I missed that. Thanks for the 100 bits. All right, Vue router. How does this work? Navigation guards. Router dot before each. Let's see what they do here. Maybe we don't need a root path. We do something like this. If to.name does not equal subreddit page, then we call next with the subreddit page and the params, that basically the stuff that we were doing here. And then we don't do this in app. So if the route we're trying to go to is not subreddit page, I mean, does that mean we need a route for, well, I guess the name would be undefined by default? Yeah, maybe this is what we need. Let's see. Yeah, so that redirects to /all. That's great. Can we still go to r/JavaScript? Yes, we can. Dynamic Voyage, thank you very much for the 100 bits. And now if we go there directly, it works! I like it. Great. So this is what we needed, because when it attempts to go to the home page, it just redirects. But if we're going anywhere else, it just lets you go there directly. That's great. I like that. So this actually simplifies our home component, because we don't need to listen for all of that. We can just get rid of it. Gone. Test pass. Awesome. Great. We've done it. We have subreddit routing. The other interesting thing about that is if I try to go to something completely different like this, it's still going to redirect to r/all, because basically the route wasn't found. So that's great. Subreddit name in the tab title. Let's do that. So right now this just says Reddit client, but what I want is when a subreddit loads, we want to put that subreddit name in the title. So basically here, like, we have this computed, but we also just want a watcher. So we're gonna watch subreddit, and then whenever it changes, we're just gonna say document.title equals subreddit. And then we'll bring in watch from view. I think that's what we need. Yeah, so that does it. What we also need is immediate true, which means this should run when the page loads for the first time. I need to charge my battery. But if we go there, we can see that the title says r/all, so that's good. All right. I will be back in 2 minutes. I need to go get my computer charger. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate you. Thanks for all the good questions and such. Mr. Solo says, I watched your YouTube tutorial on Postgres and Connects. I randomly came across your stream and recognized your voice. Well, thanks for being here, Mr. Solo. Much appreciated. Yeah. Thoughts on WebStorm? It's cool, but I like VS Code. I just prefer VS Code. Fat Cow Disease, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for a moment. We're just gonna go to this screen. Actually, I'm gonna stay on this screen. Play the drop game. Actually, let me make sure the drop game is visible. There we go. See you in 2 minutes. Hello. I'm back. And we have power now. Okay. Let's look at our to-do list. We have the title being upgraded with the subreddit name. Great. Show the subreddit info. I think this makes sense because right now, it's just a bunch of posts. I kind of want to stop showing r/all really quick. I guess we can do that in the router. Where should we go by default? We're going to go to r/ah. We're going to show cute pictures by default. Great. But we want to show the subreddit info. So if we go to Reddit, let's see what they show for a subreddit. Sorry for startling you. So you can see that a subreddit has rules. We can probably get the content of the rules. What's up, Andrew? Thanks for being here. I actually have no idea how to use the new Reddit. I'm so used to the old Reddit because if you look at the old Reddit, it's very straightforward. The sidebar, which is this thing over here, has like the description. Welcome to r/all. Things that make you go, ah. Cool. We should request info about the subreddit. Let's see if in the JSON response, does it include information about the subreddit? Reddit has the worst UI. I mean, it's okay. We might have to do something else to get specific subreddit info. Because I believe the search results for a subreddit give us back all the information about a subreddit. Like, let's look at the network response. Yeah, we could do pin posts. I think the pin post ought to actually automatically show at the top. We need to detect if they're pinned and then show like a pin icon. Okay. What was I doing? Yes, I want to show you the call to autocomplete here. So this does a search. If I search for r/JavaScript, nothing. I have to just search for JavaScript. And then let's look at the response. What's up, Fubar? Hello, the best coder. The dog is very cute. He's putting his head on a massager. Okay, so submit text HTML that has HTML that we could embed that tells you how to submit. We have an image for it. We have a public description. That's kind of what I'm looking for. A community dedicated. So this is for r/webdesign. We have a community icon. Banner background image. Description HTML, which we could embed. I guess I'm trying to figure out how do I get this info for one specific subreddit. And if we look at a post, does it have that info about the subreddit that it's in? So we're working with Vue. Most in JavaScript is mostly like front-end development. Awards. What else? SFox, how's it going? Asks, do I think it's okay to use plain JavaScript classes to store states in React rather than using actual React states? The issue with that is that you somehow need to dispatch an update to React when those plain objects change. There are various ways of doing that, but it's not ideal, which is why you use like React states. And in Vue, you absolutely can do this. You just need to make sure that it's reactive and then it will just work. You pass it into reactive or pass it into a ref, and then your components will know when those values change. If you're looking to do something like that in React, MobX is one popular choice that basically allows you to what looks like just modifying an object, but behind the scenes it uses like getters and setters to be able to call dispatch when things change in React. Okay, I think at this point we just need to go to the Reddit API docs. Getters. Because I need to get one specific subreddit. Links and comments, listings, live threads, private messages, miscellaneous. Is MobX better than Vuex? No, MobX is a straight ripoff of Vuex. MobX is React developers that want to code in a Vue-like way, but they don't want to switch to Vue. Because MobX is more work than Vuex. But at the end of the day, they use the same underlying mechanism. API, search subreddits. API v1 subreddit about. Return information about the subreddit. That's easy. So if we go to r/about.json, look at that! Beautiful. And so that gives us all the things we need. So like the public description. Let's look at the banner background image. Wait, what? Cannot be displayed because it contains errors. What about the banner image? Hey, that's nice. Cool. All right, that's okay. So first of all, we need to make a request here, and I think it doesn't have to be old Reddit. It can just be the actual Reddit website. Yeah. So this is the request we need to make. I think I'm going to create another hook. So we have this hook called use posts that loads all the posts for a specific subreddit. I think I'm going to create a separate hook just called use subreddit. Actually, yeah, APIs are fun. I agree. I mean, actually, I think we could repurpose this hook. So this hook could request the posts, but also could request the specific subreddit information. The only issue with that, though, is we're going to get to pagination, and then it's going to need a different mechanism of requesting the posts and storing them for pagination. Because right now we're just overwriting the data, whereas with pagination, we would need to append it. Yeah, we're calling them hooks. They're basically just composition functions is the correct term. People call them hooks too. But yeah, they're basically little functions that we can reuse. I'm just going to make a new one because, and I'll do it from scratch so you can see the process. So I'll say use subreddit.js. Hooks in Vue are just a simple function. If you're used to hooks in React, you know that a hook will get called on every render, right? And that's why you have certain mechanisms for deciding what code should run inside of your hook depending on what updated. In Vue, your hook runs once when the component is basically created. And then you have functions inside of your hook that can be watchers, and that code can rerun, but the code itself is not going to rerun on every render. If I hate hooks in React, well, I hate hooks in Vue. I think not, because a lot of the gotchas of hooks in React are just do not exist inside of Vue. So yeah, let's get this going. First of all, I need some computed values. We're going to use refs for that. I mean, I guess technically I could use reactive. Let's use reactive. So I could just have a state variable that is a reactive object with a few properties. So we have, if it's loading, we have the data, and then potentially if there was an error requesting that data, like this. The difference between ref and reactive. So reactive is kind of like your data property on a component, right? It's an object with multiple properties, and then here I'm actually just going to return the state. So I return this, I could use that inside of a component, and I would just say state.loading, state.error, state.data. And I also could modify those things. I could say state.loading equals true. And because state is a reactive value, behind the scenes, if anything was watching that value, whether it's in a template or in a watcher or in a computed, that code would rerun. And so reactive is great if you have like multiple things you're keeping track of, whereas you also could use a ref, and that's typically for one-off values. D. Hugh, thank you for the resub, who says, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for being awesome and making awesome content. You're very welcome. So a ref would be something like this. You have a specific loading value and then a specific error value. And then a specific data value. And hey, Samstown, thank you for that 4-month resub. Very much appreciated. So like this. And so now that you have these 3 individual values instead of just state, you would access them separately. So you would say loading, and the other aspect of that is inside of this hook. If I want to change it, instead of just saying loading equals true, I actually have to say loading.value because it's an object wrapper. So that way, that's how it's able to keep track of changes. So these are your 2 options. There are use cases for both. You can see throughout the app I have refs in certain places. In this case, there are 3 specific things that I care about, so I'm going to put it inside of its own object instead of having 3 separate refs. But they both work in a very similar way. Yeah. So we have our state, loading, error, and null. We're going to get access to the subreddit itself, and that is how we're going to make the API request. And we need to watch, which gets imported from Vue. We need to watch that subreddit, and when it changes, we need to request the latest subreddit information. And we're also going to say this is immediate true, meaning this should run when this hook runs for the first time. In essence, this pretty much works the same way as React on the surface. But it's actually very different because the underlying mechanism is very different, because in React hooks, the underlying mechanism is actually very simple. It's just a stack of functions that get called in a specific order, and that return things in a specific order, which is why you have like rules and implications in React where you can't really have a hook inside of a conditional statement, because that changes the number of hooks on every render. In React, your like useEffect and other types of hooks, you have to explicitly define your array of dependencies. You'll notice here that I mean, this is kind of like my array of dependencies. I'm basically saying whenever this changes, rerun this function. But there are also things like computeds, and those don't require a dependency array. So if we look at some like a computed property like this, I didn't have to pass in an array of dependencies like route.params.subreddit. Vue is just able to figure out what the dependencies are and automatically rerun this whenever it needs to. Whereas in React, you would have to define those dependencies explicitly. Yeah, a reactive just gives us an object that we can listen for changes. So if I want a UI element that shows a loading spinner, I can look at this property, and if it's true or false, I'm gonna know that information inside of the render function, inside of the template. Any idea how it does that magic? Yeah, it's actually really simple. It's a well, in Vue 3 it uses a proxy. No, we're talking about the tracking of dependencies. But to know when things change, it either uses a proxies or it uses object.define property, which allows you to wrap a property with a getter and a setter in JavaScript. I'll show you define property. This is how it worked in Vue 2. And this support goes pretty far back, object.define property, which allows you to specify a property on an object, but also specify getters and setters. And so basically in Vue 2, you put your initial data on your component, and behind the scenes, all the properties on that object get passed into a defined property, which defines something with a getter and a setter. And then inside of the getter, it registers a dependency. So basically every time someone requests that value, it's registered as a dependency. And that's basically how it keeps track of the dependencies. You can look at Vue. I realize that's not the best description, but on Vue Mastery, Evan Yu, the creator of Vue.js, has a course, Vue 3 reactivity. Well, not even that. There's one that's just Vue in depth. Mastering view. Stop. Building reactivity from scratch. Yeah, so there are other videos you can watch where Evan, you or anyone else will literally implement the reactivity system of Vue from scratch to show you how it all works. Regardless, let's write some code. So we're watching the subreddit. When it changes, we basically want to reset our state. So I'm going to say set state.loading is true. State.error gets reset to nothing. And state.data gets reset to null. So when the subreddit value changes, reset everything. We're then going to make an API request, and we'll do that in a try catch. So we'll say like data is equal to, we're going to need some API function. So we'll say like API.get subreddit. We'll pass in the subreddit thing that we want the subreddit value. That's going to give us back some data, and then we'll update it. So we'll say state.data equals that data. And I'm going to make this an async function. This get subreddit doesn't exist yet. We're going to need to add that. And we'll see you, Informath. Thanks for being here. I am standing up right now. Yes, that's what's happening. If there was an error, we'll say state.error equals error.message. And then after all of this is done, state.loading equals false. This is actually a perfect use case for a try catch finally, if you haven't seen those. So do those two things and then always set loading to false afterwards. Technically, we don't even have to do that. We could put the code right below it. Oh, see you to someone else. No worries. I missed some of the messages. Cool. I think this does it. Now we just need this function get subreddit. And so we have a file called API. This does our request. So this gets the posts for a subreddit. We're going to have another function, get subreddit, where you pass in the subreddit name. And it does a very similar thing. I mean, I'm going to copy and paste for now, but anytime you find yourself copy and pasting, you should probably refactor. So what we need to do is slash subreddit slash about.json, and there are no params. And that's just going to give us back the info. And we want to return data.data because I just want this nested object, and that way I don't have to do it in the caller. Data.data. Failed to get subreddit info. Cool. Simple little function. It's going to make the request. If there's an error, it's going to throw that error. And then over here, we're going to call that function. So I just need to import this get subreddit function. Maybe not. I'm going to import it all. And then we'll just do that. Great. So, the curling move. Is it top? I don't think it's I don't think I'm using top level async. Am I? I'm inside of an async function. Cool. So this is our hook. Basically, whenever subreddit changes, it's going to request that info and set it on data. That's really all we want it to do. And now I can use this hook inside of the subreddit component. So here we have use posts. I'm going to say subreddit state is use subreddit with subreddit. And then subreddit state is going to be that object that has loading, data, and error. And so that's going to go there. And then I just need to import this hook in. I wasn't doing this in other files. Other files I was doing a relative import, but one thing that's been set up with like Webpack and Webpack is there's the @ sign is aliased to the source directory. So I can do @ which means the source directory / hooks / use subreddit, which is the same thing as manually typing in that. But it's nice because if you move this file around, you don't have to update the relative dependencies. Okay. So that should be fine. We have the subreddit state. And now we can use it. And I totally forgot that that this component is using JSX, so that will be fun. But yeah, so we have this loading spinner. Let's actually do... So that loading spinner is across the top. Why is this complaining? Type error. Object is not a function. What? Subreddit.view. Oh, I'm not exporting this. That's a really bad error, but I need to export this. I should do export default. Yeah. There we go. So you saw for a split second that loading bar up at the top. That's fine. I think I'm going to leave that. Is at part of view or no? At is part of Webpack. So the Webpack configuration, you specify what your alias is. You might be able to use tilde, but if not, you could set it up to use tilde. Okay, so the loading bar thingy is there. That's fine. I think right above it, we're just gonna have a little div that has the subreddit info, and that, instead of having a loading bar, is gonna have a loading spinner. Because it's technically two separate API requests. One API request to get the subreddit info, one API request to get the list of posts. So I'm gonna go to materialize, and grab a loading spinner. Preloader? Circular, yeah, that's what I want. Flashing colors? No, I just want a big active circle thingy. Yeah, so this is basically it is JavaScript syntax, but JSX uses it for conditional rendering. So in JSX, what this says is if this expression evaluates to true, then evaluate this expression, which basically returns a tiny virtual DOM tree with a div. And if this is false, then it returns nothing. So this is basically says, if this is true, render this. If this is not true, render nothing. You have to be careful with that, though, because the thing on the left-hand side of the ampersand, double ampersand, needs to be a Boolean value. It cannot be a truthy or a falsy value, because if it's a truthy value, you're actually going to see whatever that value is rendered in JSX itself. Another way to do this is with a ternary, which is possibly a little bit more clear. So if loading is true, show that, otherwise show nothing. These two right now are functionally equivalent. We're not using Vuetify because this is Vue 3, and Vue 3 does not support, or Vuetify does not support Vue 3 yet, which is why we went with Materialize, which is mainly just a CSS thing instead of like a whole component library. And you could do, yeah, you could do not, which absolutely turns it into a Boolean, and that, yeah. And I think that's actually what I need to do here. And this is why I don't like using the syntax, is because technically poststate.error is a string. And so this would actually, I believe, render the string and the element as well. I don't know. I actually prefer the ternary. Well, it's just Vuetify has a lot of work to do. So Vuetify has tons of components. If you look at their roadmap, they're gonna support Vue 3 like end of this year. I don't know where it's at. Let's search for the roadmap. Yeah, the Vuetify roadmap. You can see that version 3 has a target release of Q1 2021. So at the very beginning of next year, they're targeting a release of Vuetify that supports Vue 3, and the alpha version will be usable end of this year, which is like right now. So pretty soon there'll be an alpha version that we can try out, and that'll be fun. All right. Did I still copy and paste that? No, I didn't. We need this preloader here. And I'm going to use a ternary because Because, yeah, so we need post state, and we also need, what do we call this? Subreddit state. And those of you that are just now tuning in, this is weird because I'm technically using JSX inside of Vue, but it's possible, and I just did it to show that we could do it. So, if subreddit state.loading is true, we're going to show this thing, otherwise null. And we'll copy it for the third time. Show off. No, like somebody last time basically just asked, like, I've heard you could use JSX in Vue. How does that work? And so this was kind of just like an exploration to show them how you would do that. I'm not getting any autocomplete, so that's, or like any formatting help, so that's unfortunate. But now subreddits, we should see a spinner above the spinner, and we don't. Prettier or Vter? Both. And see you, DS Legends. Have a good weekend. So why are we using JSX? We're using it because hey, that's me without a hat on. We're using it because last time we wanted to show these features. So because loading is false, it's very possible, but subreddit state should come from here, and this should set the loading to true. Let's make sure that this is running. Oh, we never actually returned the data. Oh, we don't need to return the data. We need to just set the things. Yeah. Let's just log the data. Trey Jocks, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Very much appreciated. Oh, it's working. I think it's just so fast that we don't see it. But this is it. We have the object. So that's fine. One thing that we could do is we could not set loading immediately. Make the user feel like something is happening. So we'll do like a 700 millisecond timeout before we set loading to false. Then we should see it. Hopefully. We don't see it. We have the subreddit state. Maybe this isn't working? Like the actual rendered value? Loading. Yeah, so we do see getting subreddit. We're setting state.loading to true. Oh, because it's an object with a state property. I just need to return state directly, like that. There we go. My fault. Okay, let's go back to what we had. And now we get it. Okay, so spinner green only. Cool. And then we can center it. So let's just call this loading. And then we need some styles. Oh, I forgot. Whenever you're using JSX, I don't. Oh no, you can have a style tag. You just can't have a scoped style, I think. But we can technically do this and do like a flexbox. That, yeah. So that spinner up top is there. You could also give it some margin. Yeah, you can't have scope styles. Even more margin. Technically, I want to wrap this in here because I only want it being displayed whenever it actually is loading. Great. Great. Yeah, this project is on GitHub. If you do !working on, you can get a link to it. Can you override the loading like that in Material UI too? Oh, I have no idea. You'd have to look at the Material UI docs. Specifically, I'm using the preloader from Materialize, which lets you specify the color. Okay, so if the subreddit state is loading, we see that thingy. And then if it's not loading and we have data, actually, let's do the error first. I'm gonna change it to that. It's gonna be very similar. Cheyenne, thank you for the Twitch Prime resub, who says, it's been a while. I have a full-time developer job now, so I don't get to watch your streams as much. Well, that's unfortunate, but congrats on working full-time. That's a good thing. Yeah, this is Vue with JSX, and I'm not liking it, mainly because the editor support isn't that great. I don't know what to use for auto-formatting. There's probably a way to get it working. I just haven't looked into it. Cool. So for this, we want the subreddit state.error. And we'll show the error here if there was an error. Great. And then lastly, we need to show all of the subreddit information. And I'm actually just going to put all of this inside of its own div so I can do some styling with it. Jifferam with that 2-month resub. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What you say? Happy Friday. Just got out of work and I'm about to set up my lab for SEC 401. Nice. First ever Sans course. Fingers crossed it goes smoothly. Nice. That's awesome. Thank you for that resub. Borat was released. I'll probably go watch that. It's my kind of humor. All right, I'm gonna wrap this in a div. And we're going to put this in here. We're going to call this the info div. And then if there was no error and there is data, so if there is no error and we are not loading, then we are going to display all of the info. I'm going to put it in a card. We're not going to make it red. And then we have the card title, which should be subreddit state.data.title, I guess? I don't know. Let's see what happens. A subreddit for cute and cuddly pictures. We've done it. We've done it, everyone. Let's look at what we have access to. So title is like the kind of like the tagline. We could do the display name. Something like that. That's cool. What else do we got? We actually have the the header image. Oh, that's teeny tiny. Icon image? That's all right. What about the banner image? Banner background image? No, that one didn't work. Banner image. That's the one. Let's put that at the top. Just have an image. The source is subreddit state.data.banner image. Like that. Should show it. We're gonna have to style it. Yeah. So that's great. I think we just want to put this image on at the top of the card, which is possible like this. you have a div with a class card image, and then that has the image inside of it. I think that, oh no, that's not inside of card content though. That's above card content. Look at that. That's cool. Does r/JavaScript have a banner image? Nice. Yeah, we've done it. Does Programmer Humor have a banner image? It doesn't. And if it doesn't, I guess it just doesn't render the image. Yeah, the source is just empty. We also could conditionally render it though. Something like this. So if that exists, display the card image. Otherwise, display nothing. Cool. All right, see you later, SFox. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I don't like it either. Why don't I use Nuxt? Because I want to be able to... I mean, I guess you could technically do a static build of a Nuxt site. I just like core view. It's nice. There are use cases for Nuxt. Why not VIF? Because we're inside of JSX, and inside of JSX we don't have access to view directives. Great. What other info do I want to show? I think I have a to-do list somewhere. We've got the title. I guess we could show like the number of members of the community, like the number of subs. Or is it subscribers? And then we also have active user count. So the way Reddit usually displays it, it'll say how many people are on the page, or at least it used to. Can anybody help me out in the new Reddit? How can I display the sidebar? Classic? Card? Like, how do I view the where does it say 676? By going to old Reddit. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I don't know how to do it here. It might be hiding because oh, it is. See, that's not nice. That's not a good user experience. The width of my page was too small, so it hid it entirely instead of displaying it in a more compact way. I don't know. Regardless, here it is. So we have this. That's fine. I guess we could show this icon too. See where that comes from. Icon image. Yeah. So we could display the icon image like right next to or right above the title, maybe. Yeah, I think I could do like a 2-column layout where the left column is the icon. Something like that. And then we have the right side, which is going to have this info. And we need to give this a class. Well, we already have the info class, so we'll use that. So we'll say info.cardContent. card dash content. Wait. Is that unique enough? That is not unique enough. subreddit info. Now let's call this banner. Display flex. And something like this. It has like flex 1. Call this icon. Is that right? I think that did it. Yeah, sort of. Maybe sort of did it. The icons, it's ugly, but it's there. Like if we go to JavaScript, no, that's too much. Flex 1 is wrong. Basically what I want, I don't even want a flex box. I want, yeah, I guess I do. Justify content, flex start. Like that. And then we can make this icon a little bit smaller. I'm not gonna use grid. We could have, but this was a lot simpler to me because it's just 2 columns. I believe, don't they have like an avatar class like this? Avatar. Oh no, the class circle. Here we go. I don't hate grids. It's just there's a time and a place for CSS grid, and this is not one of them. So that probably just gives it a border radius of 50%. Yeah. But also, we want to give it a max height or something like that. Wait, did we give it the container a class? Icon. Icon is going to have a margin right of 2 rem, and then the image inside of the icon is going to have a height of 50 pixels, like that. Isn't it beautiful? What happens if we go to r/all? Yeah, I like it. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Let's go like 75. Ta-da! The other nice thing about it is we can conditionally render the icon, because the icon might not exist, and if that's the case, we don't want a column at the start, and by using Flexbox, it just takes care of itself. So we could say, if there is an icon image, then I want you to do this. Otherwise, don't show anything. And now with Flexbox, it's just going to take this element here and push it to the beginning. Beautiful. So now we need to find a subreddit that doesn't have an icon. Programming? Yeah, just like that. So if there is no icon, it just pushes everything to the beginning. I'm curious why their description is just programming. Why don't they have a more descriptive description? r/memes. All right. What else do we need to display? Fun fact, you're on Reddit right now. Header title. Oh yeah, we were going to show the number of users online. Active user count. Descriptive description to describe it. Okay, so active user count of the total number of subscribers so 3,028 of that are here. And then we kind of want those numbers to be bold, maybe. There's probably a better way to show that. I'm also using the title in the page title. Here, you mean? I don't know. Make those numbers a little smaller. Yeah, instead of, yeah. I need to get rid of the, I'm not going to use the card title class. Let's see what other card-related things we have. I can just make it a paragraph tag. I think that makes sense. I'm using the Reddit API. Yeah, this will just be a nice little P tag. Title is what displays in the window title. Oh. We could use that. Because right now, on the, in here, when the subreddit changes, we change it to document.title. But what we could do is we could listen for subreddit state to change. And when it changes, set the title to be the data, the title from the data. So I'll say document.title if subreddit state.data.title or Reddit. And that has broken it. Let's see. Can't access property title. Oh, yeah. So if data is a thing, then grab it. Otherwise that, actually, can I do this in JavaScript yet? Is that supported? Oh, no syntax error. Let's see. Hey. And I'll actually just show subreddit.value. Yeah, okay. So if we go to r/aw, this didn't update. Watch source null. Oh yeah, I see. I just need to watch everything because it's initially null. Cool, and we can see here a subreddit for cute and cuddly pictures. That shows up in the title. Whoa! Oh, I see. These are Unicode characters that look like a monospace, looks like a monospace font. Because I was like, how did they get that in the title? Yeah. Use public description. Let's see what the difference is. Oh, I think I'm already using that. Let's see. Oh no, I just have title. Yeah. Nice. Nice. If we make this a small tag, does it go smaller? Yeah. That looks halfway decent. What's up, Brandon? Who has a question, if I don't mind. I'm building a queue in JavaScript of audio files to play with the audio web API. You know the best way to detect that the audio is finished playing, and I'm safe to grab the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. There's an event. I think what you probably want is like the timestamp update event. How do I find the available events? I think it's under Media Element. Media Element has events. No, it's properties, event handlers. Yeah. On finish? Yeah, there might be a finish event. Audio finish event. Basically, there's an event that you can tap into. The ended event is created based on the current time attribute, so all I have to do is set the current time to 0 again. So apparently there is an ended event, so you can know when the song is over and when it's time to play the next song. There are other events you can tap into, like time update, so you could do things like crossfading, where if you know that there are only 10 seconds left in a song, you can start playing the next one and ramping the volume, that kind of thing. Yeah. But ended is the event you want. I always find it so hard to figure out what are the event names that I need. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Here they are. Can play through, ended. Time update. That's the one that'll update every time the time has changed. I believe progress is whenever it's buffering. But yeah, here if you go to, I'll send you this link right here. And on the left-hand side, if you look at events, you can see these are the different events you can tap into. And like, for instance, you can see examples of ended. Like this. It works on video and audio as well. Yeah. Okay. I think we're done for today. So we're showing the subreddit info. That's great. What's one last thing I can do? Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a desktop app. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm gonna electronify this thing. Oh, actually, no, I think it'll work. I think it'll work to use the Vue plugin for it. Yeah, desktop app. So there's the Vue Capacitorize. That means turn it into a mobile app. I think I'll do that too. The Vue Electron plugin. Hey, Xzinc Commando, thank you very much for that 3-month resub. This is gonna get uploaded to YouTube sometime next week. I think this is the one I want. Vue Add Electron Builder. This is all it's gonna take to turn this into a desktop app. There are uncommitted changes. It's recommended to commit, and yeah, I can do that. Oh, well, I pushed it up. If you want to see the latest code, it's there. But now I'm going to add Electron. There are uncommitted changes. Oh, that's in the parent directory, so that's fine. Gah! GAA, good git add all. Am I just making up my own words now? What? I don't know what I said. All right, so this is really cool. You can create custom plugins for the Vue CLI, and this group of people have created the Electron Builder plugin. I'm going to choose version 9, which is the latest. It's going to install it, and it's basically going to set me up for like Webpack development of an Electron app, where when I'm in development, I'm able to get hot reloading and everything, but whenever I do a build, it's actually going to build the static files and embed those inside of the Electron app. Okay. I'm gonna run my linter really quick because I'm getting a lot of issues. Should be fine. And then npm run electron serve. I believe they add that task automatically after you add the plugin. Would you look at that? I have my own Reddit desktop app. There it is. And I mean, I guess the other cool aspect of that is now that it is running inside of Electron, we have access to like desktop APIs. So if we wanted to save images to a local folder or do other things like that, we could as well. Yeah, so, and it should still work. It's literally just the app running inside of a Chromium shell, but yeah, that's literally all it is right now. I'm not really using any aspect of it to be a desktop app, but we did it. Wait, am I spelling this wrong? Is it programming humor? Programmer with 2 M's. There it is. I spelled it wrong. But oh well. It's great. So we've got it in a desktop app. So that's great. Let's see if we can put it inside of a mobile app. I think there might be like a Vue CLI plugin capacitor. Yeah. So the capacitor framework came from the same people that did Ionic, but Capacitor is basically like a newer, more updated, not more updated, a more modern version of Cordova, which gives you access to native APIs inside of a mobile app. So Capacitor is what will let you do that, and their framework does a similar thing as the Electron Builder, where when you're running in development, your mobile app could be pointed at your dev server, but when you build it, it's just bundling those static file assets into the hybrid mobile app. Is this official? This adds capacitor serve. Yeah, let's do it. It should just work. Now we're going to turn it into a mobile app. View add capacitor. Thousand separator. Yeah, we could use in the internationalization API or the number formatting API. Format number of subscribers. What's the difference between capacitor and something like Flutter? So capacitor is what's known as a hybrid mobile framework thing, where the app running on your device is actually just you could think of it like an iframe. It's a web page, and all of the app just lives inside of that web page, and so it is web technology. That's a hybrid mobile app, and so something like Ionic with Capacitor, or anything else with Cordova, or anything else with PhoneGap, those are known as hybrid mobile frameworks. It's basically a web view that's loading your HTML content. But on top of that, they give you access to native APIs. So you can access the device storage with a JavaScript library, which is basically just a bridge to the native code. You can access the camera. You can do all of the native things you would normally do, but there's like a JavaScript bridge to do that. That's hybrid mobile, and that's where Capacitor falls into. Flutter falls into more of a at the end of the day, it's native code that's running. But Flutter is a little bit special because everything that they render is actually rendered to a canvas. So you're not writing web elements that are just running on a web view. You're writing this Flutter code that at the end of the day, their rendering engine is rendering the UI elements onto a canvas, which could allow you to get potentially better performance and a more like native look. And then you have other things like React Native or NativeScript, and those are kind of like a mix between a fully native app and a hybrid mobile app, because you can still use JavaScript, but at the end of the day, it's not a web view that's running with something like NativeScript or React Native. It's not a web view. It's the native buttons and controls being rendered on mobile, but there also is a JavaScript bridge to be able to write JavaScript-like code that can interact with those things. I talked too much about that, but let's make an iOS app. Name my app Reddit. org.codinggarden.reddit.app. What's the difference between Vue native and capacitor. Vue Native is just a wrapper on top of React Native that lets you use Vue. Capacitor is hybrid mobile. Command failed. CocoaPods is not installed. Oh, well, let me install CocoaPods. Sudo. Give me a second. Yeah, gems are rubies. So CocoaPods is a library that iOS developers use to manage dependencies, like native dependencies. Very simple. So like we use npm for Node.js. CocoaPods is what they use in the iOS world, and so we need that to be able to install the plugins there. Getting an error. Insecure world writable directory. Current directory. Can't find header. You know what? Maybe I won't use iOS. We can do Android. I'm actually curious if the generator ran, though. It did run because we have a config file. We have our backgrounded file. Yeah, we'll use Android. So I'll show you real quick. The command that failed was cap add iOS. But what we need to do is npx cap add Android. And that should give us an Android app. To use the Java command line tool, you'll need to install the JDK. What? It's okay. So that installed the things that I need. I'm gonna run a build. Shamad 775. It was some other like permissions error as well. Okay, so I'm not gonna have the live reloading, but for now I did a build, and so those built files are gonna be what runs inside of the Android app. So if I do npx cap open Android, that should open up Android Studio, which I have installed locally. And then I can run the simulator, and we can see this app running inside of a, running as an Android app. Yeah, Peon is saying there's no good mobile JS framework to rule them all. Yeah, it depends. I've had good mileage with Ionic, and specifically Capacitor. Yeah. With Vue 3, I've been curious about one thing. In Vue 2, you could use Vue template components, put them all in one file. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Yeah, the majority of your components will look exactly and can look exactly the same in Vue 3. But there are some breaking changes in like how you register your app or how you do other things like that. But for the most part, your components can remain the same. I'm using the composition API, which isn't required, but I like it, and it's nice. But you technically don't have to write your components that way. Hello, the Silence Gamer. I'm doing pretty good. And what's up, Murdoch? Thanks for being here. And Joan Derp, the 5-month resub. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Wogie. Cool. So I have here an Android simulator. This is a Pixel 3 XL in the simulator. And so when I ran that command, npx cap open, that opened Android Studio. And so now I can actually debug the app running inside of the simulator. Let's see what happens. Android, yeah. It's gotta build the whole thing. Yeah, the first build takes longer. After that, it's pretty fast, but this is the first build, so I think it's the first build when you launch Android Studio, at least in my experience. Here we go. What's happening? This is like the default splash screen. Is it gonna break? There it is. Look at this. I have my own little Reddit app here. Okay, let's load r/. Anytime now. The keyboard was like a little laggy. JavaScript. This is not the latest build. Like this is missing our subreddit info at the top. npx gonna build it. I thought we built it. Yeah, it's not showing the header. Another interesting thing, and one nice thing about this type of development is that you can actually do remote debugging with the Chrome debugger very easily. I know, like, native mobile debugging is it's not, a lot of times it's not completely straightforward, and it's kind of hard to like debug specific elements or like why something may or may not be happening. But what's cool is because that's running inside of a web view, I can actually hook it up directly to the Chrome debugger. And I can see all of the console logs and everything inside of there. I will show you. But also Chrome is being incredibly slow. I might not have that enabled. I remember a while back we were having issues and we tried to enable stuff like that with another app I was debugging. But if you go to Chrome/inspect, you can see all of the remote devices that it's possible to connect to, and we can see that we have this web view running. And then if I click inspect, that launches this, and now I can, like, even though it's running here, I can still like look at the element inspector and do all the things that I'm used to, like with web development, but it's technically running on either a simulator or a real device. But what I was going to debug is, like, is it making the request for the subreddit? It's not. We don't have the latest code. This is just requesting the posts, but it's not requesting the subreddit info. So I'm actually just going to kill this. Oh, no worries, Murdoch. Thanks for dropping by. And good luck at your new job. Okay, so we did that. If I do cap sync, Copying web assets from disks into public. And then if I rerun a build, there we go. There we go. So now it gets all the info. So you can see here on mobile that it's with this 2-column layout may not work. Like maybe we put, actually, I think we should do this. We should put the subreddit description below these elements. So like these two things are below the banner. Something like this. And there's a way with the Ionic CLI to set this up with live reload. I didn't do that right now. I'm just gonna have to resync and refresh. So build it. This is neither NativeScript or Vue Native. This is just Capacitor, which is running a web view in an Android app. And then can I refresh this somehow? Guess I could inspect it and then refresh. No, I didn't get the latest changes. I might have to do a rebuild because it has to copy the files over. So, stop and reload. Yeah, look at that. That is not bad. There's a little extra room there, but this is not bad. Cool. So now my app is running as a native app. Let's search for Java. Yeah, we might need to work with the styles. You can see here that I cannot see the dropdown. But I think it's there. Yeah. So for whatever reason it didn't pop up. That's like an issue with Materialize running on mobile or whatever, but it still technically works. Cool. Great. That's we showed how to turn a very basic web app into both a desktop app and a mobile app. Now, of course, I'm not using any of the native features of the mobile device, but I could go add the code in there for that. So that was fun. I think I'm gonna go now. And I'll push this code up to GitHub. And I'll deploy this. So like eventually you could add push notifications for new posts, different stuff like that. Somebody mentioned on Surge, you could set up a CNAME file. I'm gonna do that. Remembering a domain. Cool. Oh, no. That's not what I want. Saving it to... Oh, I just need to put it in a CNAME file. Okay. So here in the public folder, I'm going to say echo vue3 reddit client.surge.sh into a file called CNAME. Cool. So that's there. And then now, whenever I build it, and deploy it, it should automatically use that domain. Yeah, all of this is going to go on YouTube, but it's actually really easy. All I did was view add Electron Builder, and that automatically sets everything up to where when you start it, it just loads your Vue app inside of Electron. That's all you have to do is view add Electron Builder. Okay, now we have that CNAME file. Let's deploy it. That's our project. That's our domain. Beautiful. Now we can go here, and you all can experience this wonderful Reddit client. Here you go. What will be the app size after you publish with Capacitor? It's really just the size of the web files, which is not that big. Like you saw whenever I did a build, gzipped, it's about 60 kilobytes of code. This is literally the majority of the things that are required to run that Capacitor app. Other than that, it's like a web view. Yeah. Yeah, so view add is a shortcut for npm install view-cli-plugin- whatever you specify after that. So on npm, if you search for a view CLI plugin, any package that begins with that name, you can say view add Vuetify, view add i18n, or view add Electron Builder, and it automatically finds that package on npm and installs it. But it also invokes it because part of a plugin, like the plugin can ask you questions that you can answer in different sizes like that. The difference between gzip and build size. So gzip is a type of compression that's used on the web. I mean, used in a lot of places, but typically servers might store or will transmit information zipped. So when you make a request to this website, the server is going to send it back gzipped. The browser actually unzips it, and then that's the size on disk or whatever. But this is basically the amount of data that needs to be transferred over the network, the gzip size, and this is the size of the uncompressed thing. Cool. That added a bunch of stuff. You can see that it added an entire Android folder where I can replace like the icons and splash images and stuff like that, which is cool. Cool. All that code is now on GitHub. I'll share the link one last time for anybody that doesn't have it, and then I'll go. And we'll also raid somebody before I go. Nice, Igor. That's good to hear. Cool, yeah, and all the code's here if you want to check it out. Boom. Yeah. Great work, everyone. Great work. Next stream, it's possible that it will be on Monday. If not Monday, well, yeah, no, probably Tuesday. I'm going to say that I'm going to stream on Tuesday. Keep an eye on Twitter. Keep an eye on the Reddit. I'll keep you posted on when I'm going to stream next. I enjoyed my stay. That's good to hear, Nerdophile. We did Reddit, yeah. Yeah, let's get those raid messages ready. So if you are a subscriber, this is your raid message. That one. If you are not, then this is your raid message. That one. And wherever we go, show them lots of love, drop a follow if you like what they're doing, all that good stuff. So wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.
Out both of us at the same time, and then I think it says Petaz. Oh, and he's playing Among Us. What? Informa, I guess you can turn off one of your tabs now all day. Oh my goodness, thank you for the raid. And Emic, how are you doing? How's it going? Andrew Lane and Igor and Mark and Sads and Ember and Linguin, Danger Mouse, Friniz, Murdoch, CJ. How are you doing? How was your stream? What do you work on today, by the way? And Olaf and DJ Beefsteak and Chedev. Holy smokes. Bella, how are you doing? And Mr. Demon Wolf and Jay Gatachu and Devin and Anna, how's it going? And Dremented and Nerdophile and Potted Squid. Holy smokes. Thank you so much for coming in with that raid.